At the edge of a restless city, where horns blare and pavements throb beneath hurrying footsteps, there lies a world untouched by time. A world of whiskers, feathers, scales, and silent gazes. This is the Dehiwala Zoological Gardens. Founded in 1936, this historic garden was built not only to display the world's creatures, but to connect people with the wild and to protect what so easily disappears. From quiet ponds to roaring predators, from native icons to global rarities, here over 300 species coexist in a sanctuary where science meets wonder. But Dehiwala is more than just a zoo. It is a living classroom, a bridge between the past and the future, between curiosity and care. Every claw, every scale, every stripe tells a story of survival, and behind the scenes, a devoted team ensures these stories continue not only in cages, but in hearts and minds. Here, conservation is not a word, it is a practice, it is a promise. And now, we invite you into a journey of discovery through fur, feathers, and fangs, through stories born in the wild and reborn in care. This is LENSE, the collaborative documentary by the Senanayake College, Colombo 7, in partnership with the Science Union of St. Paul's Girls School Milagiriya. A story told by the minds of tomorrow for the wild of today. The largest land mammal to walk the earth, a living relic of ancient times. With quiet strength, the elephant moves through the world, shaping forests, rivers, and entire ecosystems. But what truly sets this giant apart is its trunk. A masterpiece of biology, this versatile limb contains over 40,000 muscles. It lifts, carries, touches, and even comforts with the grace of a dancer and the strength of a machine. Among the giants, the Sri Lankan elephant stands tall, majestic, and powerful, yet deeply gentle. Here, at Dehiwala Zoological Gardens, these elephants find more than shelter. They find healing. Each day begins with movement, morning walks through the still zoo grounds, a rhythm that echoes the wild. Later, they bathe in pools, play in the sun, and dine on carefully prepared meals. Their minds stay sharp with puzzles and play, their hearts cared for by keepers who understand their emotions. In this place of compassion, they aren't just surviving, they're truly living. And when they reach out with their trunks, not in defense, but in greeting, you understand, this is not just an animal, this is wisdom, this is memory, this is the elephant.
Africa's vast savannas and swamps were once home to hundreds of thousands of rhinos, but sadly, not anymore. Rhinos have an incredible evolutionary history stretching back almost 50 million years, making them one of the most successful mammal families to ever roam the earth. In fact, did you know that the rhino is the second largest land mammal, just behind the mighty elephant? Those iconic horns, they are made of keratin, the same material our nails are made of. And these horns grow throughout a rhino's life at a rate of about 3 inches a year. On a fully grown adult, they can reach over 4 feet in length. But sadly, these magnificent horns, which they use to dig, communicate, and fight, have become prized trophies for humans, fueling a deadly trade in jewelry and medicine. The rhino has few natural enemies, but tragically, humans have become its biggest threat. Believe it or not, rhinos are the only animals that aren't afraid of fire. They weigh over 5,000 pounds and can drink up to 70 liters of water a day. Water, by the way, is their most coveted treasure. At the Dehiwala Zoological Gardens, all the essential needs of these majestic creatures are provided for. Here, there are 3 rhinos, cherished and well protected, living in a safe haven where they are cared for and loved.
Massive, mysterious, misunderstood. Hippopotamus is one of Africa's most powerful and most unpredictable creatures. The third largest animal on earth after elephants and rhinos, and yet the deadliest of them all. At the Dehiwala Zoo, visitors can see 2 very different but equally fascinating types of hippopotamus. The massive common river hippo and the much smaller, more elusive pygmy hippo. River hippos are built for life in the water. They spend their days submerged, staying cool in rivers and lakes. Oddly enough, they can't swim. Instead, they walk or bounce along the riverbed, holding their breath for up to 8 minutes at a time. Large, powerful, and highly territorial. In contrast, the pygmy hippo is shy, solitary, and endangered. He is rarely seen in the wild, smaller and more land-based. Here, at this wild within walls, both these magnificent animals both are given enclosures to their needs, with space to roam, soak, and rest in safety. Through captive breeding, care, and education, institutions like Dehiwala play an important role in protecting hippos from habitat loss, poaching, and extinction. For many visitors, this is the only chance to see these animals up close and to understand why their future depends on the actions we take today. Meet Bingo, the only brown bear you'll find in Sri Lanka, and a true marvel of the animal kingdom, born from the Ursidae family and belonging to the Ursus arctos species. Bingo's native homeland is far from here. He hails from the vast wilderness of North America. But despite the tropical warmth of Sri Lanka, Bingo still follows the ancient rhythms of his kind. Now, you might think Bingo is just like any other bear, but he's got a few quirks. While brown bears are known for their carnivorous diet, Bingo has a special love for salmon. His long claws are perfect for catching them in the wild, where rivers run thick with fish. But here in Sri Lanka, his meals aren't quite the same. However, his instincts as sharp as ever. Bingo's life in Sri Lanka has been a long one, longer than most brown bears ever to live. The average lifespan for a brown bear is about 30 years, But Bingo has defied the odds, reaching an impressive 39 years. How? Thanks to the dedicated conservation efforts of the zoo, Bingo has thrived far beyond the life expectancy of a wild bear. In fact, without these efforts, a bear like Bingo simply couldn't have survived this long in the wild. Now, during the winter months, you might notice something unusual about Bingo. He tends to sleep a lot, sometimes appearing sluggish. That's because, just like his northern relatives, Bingo hibernates. Yes, even in Sri Lanka's warm climate, Bingo follows his natural instincts. And when spring comes around, he sheds his thick winter coat just as he would do in his native home. But recently, a rumor started circulating. Some believed that the zoo was neglecting Bingo. There were whispers that his fur loss was a sign of sickness or poor care. But that's far from the truth. What they didn't understand is that even though Sri Lanka doesn't experience winter like North America, Bingo's hibernation and fur shedding are simply part of his natural cycle. He's not sick, he's just following his instincts, adapting in his own way to the tropical climate of Sri Lanka. Thanks to the zoo's dedicated team, Bingo has had a long and healthy life. They've ensured his well-being, giving him a safe environment to live out his natural behaviors, something a wild bear, far from human care, might never get to experience. So, the truth is clear. Bingo is not only surviving here in Sri Lanka, he is thriving. And his story is a testament to the power of conservation, care, and the incredible bond that we share with these magnificent creatures.
Once alone, Bingo now has company. Two Himalayan brown bears have joined him at Dehiwala Zoo, turning solitude into family. Together, they mark a new step in Sri Lanka's mission to protect these mountain giants. Three bears, one bond, a powerful symbol of hope. With flippers like paddles and eyes full of mischief, he glides through water like a dancer in its element. Agile, intelligent, and endlessly entertaining, it's no wonder they are a crowd favorite. Meet one of the most impressive residents at the Dehiwala Zoo, the sea lion. Unlike most of their seal relatives, sea lions possess the rare ability to rise and walk on land using all four limbs, a quiet reminder of their strength, adaptability, and the evolutionary bridge they represent between two worlds. Here at Dehiwala, he is not just an animal on display, he is a star. The sea lion show is one of the zoo's most loved attractions. As the crowd gathers, excitement builds. Then, with a splash and a spin, he enters, confident and curious. What follows is a perfectly timed routine of jumps, flips, ball balancing, and playful waves that never fail to bring smiles. But beyond the fun, there's a deeper message. What makes this show truly special is its heart. Every cheer from the audience becomes a part of the sea lion's story. Each move is a result of months of positive training, built on mutual respect and gentle encouragement. These trainers are the quiet heroes behind the scenes, whose passion and expertise transform every show into a celebration of connection between humans and the natural world. By offering a safe refuge and sharing their stories, the Dehiwala Zoo ensures that the legacy of sea lions continues, not just as captivating performers, but as ambassadors for the oceans they call home. In the quiet corners of the Dehiwala Zoo, you'll hear it, the soft rhythm of hooves, the gentle breath of giants in motion. Meet the horses, graceful, proud, and full of soul. There's Joanna, a spirited mare with a calm gaze and a heart that leads. These four aren't just animals in a paddock. They are companions, symbols of trust and keepers of ancient bonds between humans and nature. Here at Dehiwala Zoo, they are cared for like family. Every morning, their stables are clean and their hair freshly laid. Keepers brush their coats with careful hands, untangling knots and easing muscles. Their diets are planned to perfection: grains, greens, and the occasional treat. Clean water, shaded rest, and a space to roam ensure they live not just in safety but in comfort.
She stands tall, the only one of her kind in an entire nation, the lone giraffe of Sri Lanka. Towering at nearly 5 meters, she is nature's skyscraper, graceful, silent, and strong. A gentle sentinel of the savannah, now rooted in a land far from home. Most giraffes bear coats of soft patches, but hers, like a work of art, is laced with white lines in a delicate net. She is a reticulated giraffe, named for the intricate reticulation that sets her apart. With her long neck, she reaches where no others can, feeding from branches high above. 4 stomachs help her digest leaves with perfect efficiency. Her legs, slender but powerful, carry her with surprising speed up to 56 kilometers per hour. But drinking is no easy feat. Thanks to a special capillary network, the rete mirabile, she bends down without fainting, her heart always in balance with the sky and earth. Yet, behind those lashes and watchful eyes lies a quiet truth. She is alone. Too old to wait for companions, too rare to replace. Bringing another giraffe is a dream locked in time. So she lives, not with a herd, but in the hearts of those who care for her. Her story is no longer just one of biology, it's one of dignity, of memory, of protection. She is not just a giraffe, she is the last of her kind here, and in her we are reminded what it truly means to cherish life. In a world that never stops moving, there is a place where time stands still, yet the wind still breathes. Welcome to the Zoological Gardens Museum of Dehiwala, where every creature tells a silent story. Here, animals no longer alive continue to serve as teachers, reminders, and symbols of nature's complexity. Their preservation is not an act of freezing the past, but of holding into it gently for future minds to understand. This is the realm of taxidermy, a meticulous blend of biology, chemistry, and art. It begins with care. The skin is removed and treated, preserving every texture and hue inside the body. Meanwhile, a new body is sculpted, muscle by muscle, pores by pores. Glass eyes are set with precision. Ears shaped, claws cleaned, feathers fluffed. The goal, not just accuracy, but authenticity. Each mount becomes a biological sculpture, frozen mid-motion, whispering the truth of life. But the museum is no mausoleum, it is a classroom. Here,
The extinct meet the curious. Children trace the stripes of a preserved jungle cat. Students compare skulls of predator and prey. Biologists sketch, measure, and question. It is a space where science breathes through silence, where the death of one animal may inspire the protection of many more. In this sanctuary of stillness, the wild lives on, not in motion, but in meaning.
This is the black jaguar, born of the same blood as the golden jaguar, yet cloaked in darkness. Its coat is not just black, but a midnight tapestry, where hidden rosettes bloom like forgotten constellations. A product of melanism, nature's rare brushstroke. It shares this living canvas with its golden sibling. Two souls, one species, side by side. But while one basks in sunlight, the other becomes the dusk, a living myth. In the wild, black jaguars are whispers, seen by few, known by fewer. They haunt the deep rainforests of South America, where shadows reign and silence speaks. But here, in the sanctuary of life, it walks the earth with quiet dignity, not as a predator, but as a symbol of survival, of the untamed beauty that still clings to the edges of our world.
Amid the urban heartbeat of Colombo lies a world apart, lush, wild, and full of stories that echo through the rustling leaves. This is the Dehiwala Zoological Gardens, home to hundreds of species, but none more regal than the Bengal tiger. Here, behind the safety of steel and stone, thrives a family of giants, split between two enclosures. One houses the majestic parents, the original guardians of this bloodline. The other holds their legacy, three powerful young tigers, Duma, Mira, and Leo. Once fragile cubs, now full-grown predators, commanding presence and awe. Today, their habitat is one of the most visited and admired corners of the entire zoo. But this family's journey was never easy. When the mother tiger became pregnant, time was not on her side. She was older, her body slower, instincts less certain. And when the moment of truth arrived, and three tiny cubs entered the world, nature faltered. The mother, wary and instinctively unsure, refused to nurse them. In the wild, this would be their silent end. But here, under the vigilant care of the Dehiwala Zoo, the story turned. The staff didn't give up. Around-the-clock attention, warmth, nourishment. Every heartbeat of those cubs was protected. Duma, bold and assertive. Mira, observant and gentle. Leo, agile and inquisitive. Today, they roam with power, healthy, majestic, and completely transformed. All thanks to the unwavering commitment of the zoological department, who turned the impossible into living, breathing triumph. Tigers at Dehiwala are fed 6 days a week, but their meals are not handed to them. They are earned. This is known as roast meat. Raw, rich, and challenging. The food is suspended, hidden, or placed beyond reach. The goal? To simulate the chase, the leap, the strike, just like in the wild. This isn't just nutrition, it's enrichment, exercise, and survival instinct. Because make no mistake, Bengal tigers are apex predators, masters of their domain. Their forelimbs are engineered for combat. Slightly longer than their hind legs, they deliver bone-shattering blows. One strike can knock a full-grown deer off its feet. Their claws, 5 per paw, are curved, razor-sharp, and retractable. Like nature's daggers, they remain hidden until it's time to grip, climb, or kill. Their senses are equally formidable. Night vision, whiskers that read vibrations, and a sense of smell that can track prey kilometers away. And then their coat, iconic, bold, and deeply symbolic. But look closer, no two sets of stripes are the same. Each tiger wears a unique pattern, like fingerprint crafted by evolution. Duma, Mira, Leo, they're more than just survivors. They are symbols of preservation, science, and the power of care.
Beneath the dapple shade of Sri Lanka's Dehiwala Zoological Garden, 3 silent cervine watch from the shadows: leopards, masters of stealth and survival. They are not just any cats, they are the most elusive of the big cats, stronger than they appear, quieter than they seem. Of all the big cats, only the leopard carries the crown of versatility, thriving in rainforest, desert, savanna, and city's edge. They are the only big cats known to drag their prey up trees, catching meat for days to avoid scavengers. Each rosette on their coat is as unique as a fingerprint, and behind those amber eyes lies a mind built for patience, cunning, and adaptation. But even kings fall under threat. In the wild, Sri Lanka's own subspecies, the Sri Lankan leopard Panthera pardus scotia, is endangered. Habitat loss and conflict with humans have pushed them to the edge. Here at Dehiwala, the 3 leopards are more than exhibits. They are ambassadors. Their presence fuels education, sparks curiosity, and drives home the urgency of preservation. The zoo's conservation program, in collaboration with wildlife authorities, support genetic research, enrichment programs, and public awareness campaigns aimed at protecting leopards all across the island.
In the great mosaic of African wilderness, where the grass whispers secrets and the horizon stretches endlessly, moves a creature of legend, a creature whose breath seems woven into the story of the land. This is the African lion. Powerful, deliberate, and steeped in myth, the lion has long reigned as a symbol of courage and dominance. But beneath the mane lies something far more intricate: a social architect, a guardian, and a master of survival. Unlike their feline cousins, lions do not walk alone. They thrive in prides, complex, cooperative families ruled not just by muscle, but by memory, strategy, and maternal command. And while the wild remains their ancestral throne, echoes of their reign now thunder far from Africa's plains, deep in the tropics of Sri Lanka at the Dehiwala Zoological Gardens. There, a pride lives not in captivity, but in carefully sculpted wilderness. The enclosure is more than space. It is a story designed to mirror the lion's natural habitat. It stretches wide with open savannas, shaded rock outcrops, and vantage points fit for kings. It is one of the most celebrated exhibits of the zoo, not only for its beauty, but for the beating heart that lives within. A once great patriarch named Hipo ruled this land. His mane the color of the setting sun, his eyes wise from years of dominance. Under his reign, a lioness bore cubs, fragile yet fierce from the first breath. Today, those cubs are grown, and the crown has passed to Thor, a young lion in his prime, now the leader of his pride. But the strength of this pride lies not only in dominance, but in care. Behind the scenes, the zoo's team uses innovation to mirror the rhythms of the wild. Meals are never predictable. Food is hidden, suspended, even buried, requiring the lions to track, leap, claw, and earn their feast. These strategies, known as environmental enrichment, preserve not just their health, but also their instincts. Each lion's meal plan is precisely calculated based on their body weight and activity levels. This isn't simply feeding, it's training for survival. And nature's most intimate cycle is preserved too. Lionesses carry life for nearly 110 days. At birth, the cubs, blind, silent, no larger than a loaf of bread, are cradled in seclusion. For 3 months, they feed solely on the mother's milk. But then the rituals begin. Small blood-smeared pieces of meat are introduced like offerings to awaken the carnivore within. Slowly, instinct takes hold. Even the way lions communicate is a marvel of biology. They roar, not just to declare territory, but to locate pride members across great distances. Their roar, reaching up to 114 decibels, can be heard 8 kilometers away. And not just sound, it is identity. Their tongues, rough as sandpaper, can strip flesh from bone. Their eyes, duped with reflective layer called the tapetum lucidum, shine like mirrors in the dark and see 6 times better than the human at night. And perhaps the most fascinating one of all, when 2 lionesses give birth around the same time, they often raise their cubs communally, nursing and protecting each other's young in a rare display of cross-maternal care.
He was born beneath the stillness, not with triumph, but with silence. Simba, a lion cub not welcomed by instinct, nor cradled by a mother's warmth, abandoned at birth, left without the first breath of comfort most creatures know. Nature had looked away, but humanity did not. Zookeepers moved swiftly, not as observers, but as guardians. Blankets replaced the mother's embrace, formula fed from a bottle and warmed by hope. Every heartbeat was hard-won, every rise of his tiny chest a fragile defiance against fate. What should have been the end became the beginning. He was named after kings, but this cub didn't inherit a crown, he earned it. Heidi, a playful cub with a spark in her step and curiosity in her eyes. She wasn't rescued, she was raised, carefully, lovingly, deliberately. Where Simba fought to live, Heidi dances through life, unaware of hardship and full of wonder. She tumbles through leaves, stalks shadows that aren't there, and launches surprise pounces at anyone who dares to ignore her. She is instinct wrapped in innocence, wildness in its earliest and purest form. In 2012, a Komodo dragon was gifted from the Prague Zoo, Indonesia, where he began a new chapter in his extraordinary life. Now 18 years old, this mighty predator commands both awe and respect, known for his aggressive nature and sheer power. Once, he even attempted to escape his enclosure, prompting the zoo to take significant steps in enhancing conservation and protective measures. This apex predator is built for domination, with venomous saliva coursing through its glands. A single bite delivers not just pain, but a deadly infection. The wound worsens over time, paralyzing the muscles and nerves of the prey, ensuring the Komodo dragon's dominance in the wild. But his survival skills go beyond his hunting prowess. After mating, he can store sperm for up to 3 years, keeping the possibility of reproduction alive long enough after the mating season has passed. Even more remarkable is his ability to reproduce through parthenogenesis, the process of laying fertilized eggs without the need for a male. In this way, the Komodo dragon ensures the continuation of his lineage, even in isolation. From his brutal predation to his unique reproductive abilities, this Komodo dragon is a living testament to the raw power and resilience of nature, a symbol of both survival and mystery. He represents the primal forces that shape the life on Earth.
In the heart of Sri Lanka, hidden beneath a canopy of green, lives a family of silent predators. No, not lions, not leopards, but something far older, far more ancient. They are pythons, relics of evolution and masters of silent death. Welcome to the python enclosures of the Dehiwala Zoological Gardens. Few creatures evoke such awe and fear as the python. And here in Dehiwala, you'll find not one, but several of the world's most fascinating species, each with a story carved through millions of years of survival. The Indian rock python, powerful, patient, a true heavyweight of the subcontinent. Though not venomous, this reptile is an ambush expert. It constricts prey with terrifying precision, crushing the life from rodents, birds, and sometimes even deer. And then there's the legend, the reticulated python, Earth's longest snake. Native to Southeast Asia and the crowned giant of Dehiwala's python collection, this serpent can grow up to 25 feet. The reticulated python gets its name from the beautiful net-like pattern on its scale and artist's camouflage in the dense jungle. Despite its size, it moves with silent grace, and when it strikes, its teeth, 6 rows of them, curved and razor-sharp, latch onto prey. Through a method known as the pterygoid walk, its skull walks over the meal, pulling it deeper into the throat. Among the most eye-catching residents are the albino Burmese pythons, with glowing golden eyes and hypnotic patterns. These serpents are more than just beautiful, they tell a cautionary tale. Originally from Southeast Asia, Burmese pythons became invasive in Florida's Everglades after pet releases. Now they have disrupted entire ecosystems. The diamond python, a rare guest from the forests of Australia. This non-venomous constrictor thrives in cooler climates and is distinguished by its stunning diamond pattern. In the wild, the green anaconda haunts the wetlands of the Amazon, but here in Dehiwala, she glides through an artificial jungle, still carrying the ancient power of a rainforest predator. Her body is built like a submarine, sleek, muscular, and nearly 30 feet of pure constriction. She is not venomous. She doesn't need to be. Her method is older, more brutal, suffocation by pressure. When prey stumbles into her range, be it caiman, capybara, or bird, the water erupts. She strikes like a bolt of green lightning, wraps around her victim, and squeezes until heartbeat and breath disappear into silence. The green anaconda is not only powerful, she is perceptive. With heat-sensitive pits around her mouth and eyes adapted for low-light vision, she hunts with senses that humans can hardly imagine. In ancient myths, she was worshipped as a water goddess. In reality, she is flesh and muscle, but no less divine. Venom, poison, wild cocktails of death. The animals that carry deadly toxins are often the creatures that haunt our deepest fears. Diverse in patterns of dots or stripes and shades resembling the natural environment where they live, and sometimes they even slither and curl. These creatures are none other than snakes. At the snakes area of the zoo, a collection of the world's most fascinating and formidable serpents comes to life. The Indian cobra, with its iconic hood, delivers potent neurotoxins capable of shutting down the entire nervous system within minutes. Nearby, the red-spitting cobra demonstrates a unique adaptation, projecting its venom towards the eyes of predators with remarkable accuracy, causing intense pain and potential blindness. Native to Sri Lanka, the strikingly patterned cat snake possesses mild venom used to immobilize small prey, a subtle but effective tool in their survival arsenal. The Russell's viper, however, is far less discreet. With long hinged fangs, it delivers a hemotoxic venom that ravages tissue, induces internal bleeding, and can prove fatal if untreated. And though the Madagascar ground boa is non-venomous, its power lies in brute force, a constrictor that suffocates its prey with silence efficiency.
At the Dehiwala Zoological Gardens, the Indian star tortoises enjoy a quiet life in the sandy enclosure. Slow movers, but always dressed to impress with their star-studded shells. Just across the way, the African spurred tortoises are living a bold life, sharing a pond with the giant estuarine crocodile. It may sound like a suspense movie, but they get along just fine. Calm neighbors and absolutely no drama. And then there's the true elder of the zoo, the giant tortoise, proudly 153 years old. He's not in a hurry, and after living through 3 generations, who can blame him? A living legend in a very slow shell. Oh look, it's him! The king of the coast, the stealth missile in scales. Meet the saltwater crocodile, or just salty if you're chill. Over 5 meters long, 1 ton heavy, basically a dinosaur with Wi-Fi. And that bite? Stronger than any animal on earth. 1 snap and gone. But plot twist, Salty is also a great dad. Guards the nest, carries his babies, even gives them a piggyback ride to the water. Deadly? Yes. Doting? Absolutely. Now meet his cousin, the mugger. Shorter, chunkier, prefers fresh water and minding his own business. He's everywhere. India, Sri Lanka, Nepal, you name it. Sunbathes like a king, naps like a pro, eats like a vacuum. And then there's the gharial, that snout built for speed and fish feasting. Not scary to humans unless you're a sardine. Males rock a bulbous nose called a gara, deep-voiced, river-famous, and critically endangered. 3 crocs, 3 styles, 1 wild story.
Beneath the surface, the world forgets them. Here, footsteps vanish, voices fade. Only the language of currents remains. Welcome to the aquarium of Dehiwala, a cathedral of water and glass where life didn't rise from the soil, it bloomed from the depths. Fresh water, the realm of stillness and secrets. The Arapaima glides, part fish, part relic, rising to breathe as though caught between 2 worlds. Nearby, the ancient polypterus drifts like a creature who never got the memo that time moved on. And in the gloom, catfish wait, whiskered sentinels navigating not with sight but with touch, vibration, and instinct. Among them, Sri Lanka's freshwater jewels, giant danios, rosy barbs, and the rare lipstick goby hidden in mountain streams found nowhere else on earth. These fish are not ornaments, they are echoes, living fossils, fragments of rivers long vanished. Now the waters shift, neither salt nor fresh, the brackish zone. This is where nature blurs the lines, where survival means transformation. Chromite shimmer in suspended tension, living between flood and drought, tide and trickle. In this borderland, evolution never sleeps. Then the reef, a universe in motion. Light fractures, color explodes. Butterfly fish, clownfish, wrasse, not swimming but dancing. Here, the sea isn't calm, it's a celebration. Every ripple a rhythm, every fin a flare. Predators and prey performing a ballet choreographed by survival. Over 500 species across 22 aquatic realms. Each tank a window, each creature a verse in nature's oldest story.
The exotic birds aviary, where the colors are louder than the birds. And trust me, the birds are very loud. Tucked away in the heart of Dehiwala Zoological Gardens, this isn't just an Instagram dreamscape. It's a full-blown avian UN. Birds from around the world, brought here not by tourist visas, but by animal exchange programs and goodwill between the zoos. International diplomacy, but fluffier. And it's not just for show. This aviary is a frontline post in the battle against extinction. Carefully curated habits, captive breed, species monitoring. Basically, it's bird Hogwarts with a conservation agenda. Let's talk mackerels, the Kardashians of the parrot world. Loud, flashy, emotionally complex, and always ready for a photo shoot. Red, bold, and fabulous. If confidence had wings, it would look exactly like this. Native to the rainforests of Central and South America, the scarlet mackerel isn't just a bird, it's a walking, squonking colorway. scarlet, yellow, blue. Basically, someone turned a highlighter pack into a bird. And they're smart, scary smart. They remember faces. They have opinions. If you're not emotionally stable, don't argue with one. They'll win. But despite their flair, they've been pushed to the edge by deforestation and illegal pet trade. And here, in the aviary, they are given a second chance, away from chains into safety. And now, the green-winged macaw, not to be mistaken for Scarlet's less famous sibling. No, this one's royalty. Crimson head, emerald wings, blue tail, a living Renaissance painting. Larger, wiser, with a more grounded vibe. If Scarlet is a pop star, Green Wing is classical opera. They form lifelong bonds, that's right, lifelong. More committed than most people's Wi-Fi connections. Here, they're a part of a parent program that gives love, safety, and the occasional fruit buffet. Now, the name may sound aggressive, but these guys, total softies. Olive green like camouflage with a bright red forehead. Imagine an army general wearing a party hat. They're calm, observant, and absolutely not fans of chaos. In the wild, they prefer mountain forests, away from the paparazzi. But habitat loss is their arch nemesis. That's why this aviary, with its cliff-like perches and leafy hideouts, gives them a peaceful place just to vibe. And finally, drum roll for the divas of the sky, the blue and yellow macaws. Oh yes, this is not a bird, it's an event. Bright golden belly, cobalt blue wings, black lined beak like a perfectly drawn eyeliner. This bird is giving Met Gala in the jungle, and they know it. Blue and yellows are entertainers. They mimic voices, flirt with cameras, and judge your outfit from their perch. But behind that sass is a sharp mind and a fragile fate. Wild populations are vanishing. Here, they get a safe stage, steady care, and probably more attention than the zoo director. So, what's the real story? It's not just about feathers and squawks. It's about species claimed to survival in a human-dominated world. It's about what we destroy and what we choose to protect. Every branch, every nest, every stalk in this aviary, it's a part of a conservation ballet. A dance between hope and extinction. And here, in Dehiwala, the birds still have a voice. Sometimes loud, always beautiful, and never ever boring. Profoundly intelligent and deeply social, chimpanzees are our closest living relatives, sharing nearly 98% of our DNA. Adult chimpanzees stand about 1 to 1.7 meters tall and weigh between 30 to 70 kilograms, with males being larger than the females. Their powerful arms, longer than their legs, make them adept climbers and swing effortlessly through the trees. Omnivorous by nature, chimpanzees feast on fruits, leaves, seeds, insects, and even small animals, demonstrating their adaptability. Yet, it is in their intellect that truly sets them apart. They fashion tools to gather food, communicate through a symphony of vocalizations, gestures, and facial expressions, and reveal emotions that resonate with our own. Empathy, grief, joy, and cooperation. Through dedicated conservation efforts, the zoo provides a sanctuary for these remarkable primates, safeguarding them from threats that they face in the wild. such as deforestation, hunting, and disease. Breeding programs help to ensure the survival of their species, while educational initiatives inspire visitors to join the mission to protect these close relatives of humanity.
This is the Hamadryas baboon, watchers of dawn, climbers of stone, echoes of gods. To many, just another primate, but look closer and you'll see something ancient, almost divine. In the times of the pharaohs, these baboons were sacred, believed to be the living forms of Thoth, the god of wisdom. Their sunrise cries were thought to call the sun into the sky. Unlike their cousins, Hamadryas live not in chaos, but in order, regal, rigid, almost military. Males command harems with strict hand, using stares, grunts, and even herding tactics like shepherds of flesh and fur. And those vivid red faces, they flush deeper with emotion. It's a language we don't speak, but they do. They are the only baboons who cross the Red Sea, the only ones to leave Africa and colonize Arabia, a feat of endurance carved into their very bones. Even their sleep is defiant, perched on vertical cliff faces at night, dozens of meters high, where leopards dare not follow.
Welcome to the primate enclosures of the Dehiwala Zoological Gardens, where 6 fascinating monkey species await your attention. Meet the silver leaf monkey, easily recognized by its shimmering grey coat and gentle leaf-based diet. Next, the purple-faced langur, a shy Sri Lankan endemic known for its deep calls echoing throughout the canopy. Here's the brown capuchin, one of the smartest monkeys, often seen using tools with surprising skill. The rhesus monkey follows, bold, adaptive, and often the leader in social hierarchies. Say hello to the white talk monkey, with its unique whirl of hair and playful energy, a true symbol of Sri Lanka's forests. And finally, the spider monkey, a master of movement, using its strong tail like a fifth limb to glide effortlessly through the trees. In 2009, the Dehiwala Zoological Gardens proudly welcomed Sakifo, the only orangutan ever born and raised in Sri Lanka. With his calm presence and soulful eyes, Sakifo became a beloved symbol of the zoo, inspiring awe and affection in visitors of all ages. On January 7, 2025, Sakifo sadly passed away due to illness. His loss marks the end of an era, a gentle giant who will be deeply missed and forever remembered. Welcome to the hooved lounge of Dehiwala Zoo, where elegance, mystery, and desert drama all share the same zip code. First up, the spotted deer, nature's polka dot runway model. With a golden coat and a sprinkle of white spots, they are the Bambi lookalikes of the subcontinent. Graceful, photogenic, and always alert. Herd animals by heart, they move like synchronized dancers, ears twitching, tails flicking, eyes locked on whatever's lurking. Right next door, the Samba deer, bigger, moodier, and basically the introverts of the deer world. Dressed in rugged browns with antlers like weathered tree branches, they don't do drama, unless you count echoing foghorn honks when spooked. Meanwhile, across the dryland section, the oryx stands like a sandstorm in slow motion. pale coat, black markings, and two perfectly parallel horns that say, "Yes, I can defend myself, but make it fashion." And tucked into the leafy edges of the enclosure, the greater kudu, part antelope, part forest ghost, with spiral horns like something out of mythology and white body stripes that practically whisper stealth mode. They prefer to observe the world from the shadows. Together, they turn Dehiwala into a living postcard. 4 species, 4 personalities, and one shared mission: to survive, thrive, and look fantastic doing it.
In the kingdom of the skies, one bird rules with silent power and piercing sight: the eagle. Revered in myth, feared in nature, and admired by all who look up, eagles are the apex predators of the air. Sri Lanka, rich in biodiversity, is home to several eagle species, each with its own territory, hunting style, and survival story. But among them, one stands out: the white-bellied sea eagle, a master of two worlds who dominates not just the skies but the waters beneath. In captivity, like here at the Dehiwala Zoo, the sea eagle becomes an ambassador, a living reminder of the delicate balance between human development and wild freedom. Conservation is key, with habitats threatened by deforestation, pollution, and human encroachment. The future of these birds lies in our hands. The zoo plays a vital role, offering safety, care, and education, ensuring future generations know these raptors not as memories but as marvels. The sky has many travelers, but only a few reign. Eagles does not just fly, it rules. Feeling cool, right? Yes, you're not in a zoo anymore. You're deep in a tropical rainforest. Welcome to the model rainforest at the Dehiwala Zoo. A lush living exhibit where air is warm, the plants grow wild, and the birds fly right above your head. This isn't just for looking, it's for experiencing. You're surrounded by the sights, sounds, and the movements of one of the most biodiverse ecosystems on Earth. It's a chance to see rare and colorful species up close in an environment that feels just like their natural home. And as visitors explore, they learn why rainforests matter, not just for the animals but for the planet. It's wild, it's real, and it might just change how you see nature.
We came to see animals, but what we found was a piece of ourselves. Within these walls, something powerful happens. A silent understanding, a shared breath, a moment where eyes meet and speak without words. The Dehiwala Zoo is not perfect, but it holds something rare: hope. Because every rescued life, every healed wing, every quiet second spent watching is a step back towards the wild. And maybe, just maybe, that's where the healing begins. In the gaze of a tiger, we see strength. In the slow walk of an elephant, wisdom. In the joy of a seal, freedom. And in all of them, something achingly familiar. We are not visitors to nature, but we are a part of it, bound by breath, by beauty, by love.
So fall in love with the wild again. And maybe, just maybe, it will still be here tomorrow. In every shot, in every voiceover, in every small decision was a team that cared deeply, who stayed up past midnight, rewrote lines, and never stopped asking, how do we do justice to the voiceless? The Dehiwala Zoo may not hold the wild in its truest form, but it holds a mirror to our responsibility, our power, and our potential to protect. We hope that somewhere between the frames, you felt it too. If even one heart now listens more closely to the wild, if even one step is taken to protect what cannot speak, then every moment behind this lens was worth it. And with that, this beautiful collaborative journey led by the Science Society of D.S. Senanayake College, together with the Science Union of St. Paul's Girls School Milagiriya, comes to an end. Not in silence, but with a whisper to the world, to look again and see with wonder.
Zoolens, not just a story of animals, a story about us, of what we've lost and what we still have time to save.